Wednesday PLO night. Hello everyone and welcome to our PLO night. Today we are going to do something different since we've had some pretty rough sessions in our couple of last PLO nights. Our crowdfunded bankroll has dropped to around $200, which means that we will be playing PLO25 today. And unless with the sit heater or sit downswing, we will continue playing PLO25. It should be interesting. I don't remember when I have played PLO25 in our coachings for the last time. Might be in last year's November or December. I'm not sure. So today we are going to play PLO25. I suppose we don't have much of notes from our opponents, but let's see. We have pretty nice tables. I'm going to show you the lobby. We have players per flop 75, and if we think that table with 50 or higher is super good table, we have around 10 of those super good tables. So I'm going to go and put myself on the waiting list for these tables. And let's just see what happens. I have no idea about the regulars on these tables, so it's interesting to see. And I suppose we're going to hop on and hop off from the tables because the traffic is pretty high. People come and go, especially the recreational players. There are some regulars that are in a lot of tables, but in PLO25 I wouldn't be that worried about regulars. Of course, if there's a solid regular, we are not going to make a lot of money out of them, but on the other hand, we shouldn't be losing a lot of money to them in the long run. So now we just wait until we can find some good tables, and meanwhile, if someone has any questions, feel free to ask. I'm more than happy to answer. Here you can see our chat. If you are a member of Pokerimania, or I always wonder how do you pronounce this in English. It's not Pokermania because it's in Finnish. So is it Pokerimania or just Pokerimania as we pronounce it in Finnish? I have no idea, and I think I'm pronouncing it differently on each PLO night. But if you're a member of us, you can join the chat. It's almost in real time. We have 1 to 2 minute delay for this stream due to technical and security reasons. Here we have a player from Belarus. I have no idea what kind of player he is, but he has been marked green, which means that he's going to call. And here we have the Greece player. I remember this guy is so weird. Like he stacks off super lightly. And my webcam is over the chat. Oh, sorry. So I'm going to do my magic. Bada bing, bada boom. And there you go. Now it shouldn't be blocking it too much. Is it better now? Let's do it this way, and now. Poker Eye Mania. That's stupid. Oh, now we have tons of tables. I'm going to open one table. Our estimated bankroll is little less than $200. So now we have 5 tables. We have over half of our bankroll on the tables, but I don't think we're going to lose and buy in at the same time on each table. So it's Poker Eye Mania. Wow. On table 2, the creased guy shorty check raises me on this flop instead of c-betting, so he has a straight or 2 pairs or set always. And congratulations, by check raising he won 1.5 buy-ins, and he shows me the pure bluff. So I'm going to give him green color for that super stupid check raise. No offense, but with $2 he has 8 BB stack and he check raises me on the flop. Wow. So he has folding equity if I have total air, but I shouldn't have total air that often. So I don't mind giving him 1 BB. I'm going to get it back. Here Vietnamese guy 3-bets me. I have a sort of bad hand to call 3-bet, and he's a shorty. We don't have that much implied odds, so I'm going to fold. What happened on table 3? Wow. They played a big all-in pot with pretty much nothing. Oh, you didn't plan for English. Should we have Poker Mania as our English side? Here Dalai Lama bets pot. We have open ender and 2 pairs, so of course against this guy we let the money in, and he has higher 2 pairs, but we suck out. And we suck out twice, so justice served. On table 1 we flop the set with open ender. He bets half a pot. It's so weird that I'm going to make a small raise. I might make it as a bluff, semi-bluff. And hope he reads it as a bluff. But he calls an 8 is the worst card probably in the deck. But I have 1 10 in my hand, and even if he has 9-10, I still have a lot of equity, so I'm going to shove here. I don't want to call and give him a free card, whatever he has. And when he bets it this small, he might have Queen Jack, he might have King 10 type of hand, he might have Ace Ace, King type of hand, or whatever. And he's such a shorty that if he has a draw, I want to get the money in now, and he calls. And river is a club, it kinda sucks, but I have to call. He probably often has a flush draw, but there's no way I can fold when there's $30 in the pot. Yeah, and he has Ace King Queen. Runner flush. So we start the session where we left last time. Now on table 2 we have pretty much the nuts on the flop. Too bad. The opponent can't have anything but the bluff, so I might have bet smaller to induce a bluff, but and table 2 died. So we have to count how much we are going to lose, because if we throw a lot under or below $100, we have to think if we drop to PLO10, or do we want to gamble with the whole funded bankroll. We have now lost one buy-in. And it's in this hand when the opponent calls that on the turn he has a flush draw and a cut shot. So yeah, if he thinks that I have 9, 10 or a set, he doesn't have the odds to call. But as we see, people don't think about equities. I'm pretty sure he doesn't understand what equity means, that, and he doesn't understand that if he calls the turn, he's not going to make money in the long run. But that's how people play, and that's how we make money. Like in this hand, we made a lot of money in the long run. Today we lost $25. I'm going to open an outside table. Let's see. On table 2 I'm going to call this shorty open. And of course we value bet top pair and he just checks folds. And now we just wait and see what happens. Table 1 has dropped, but there's this Alcantara. Looks like a pretty nice player. And Arimecha is talking about our history, how this site was born. And although it's a sad story, but out of that sad story something good came up. And we have this awesome site. It can be mentally hard when I and we have lost pretty much a lot of money in the last 2 PLO nights, in Finnish and English night. We have some pretty nasty downswing. And now when we are dropping down to PLO25 and in the very first hands we get a super naughty hand and we get pretty much stuck in against weaker player and we lose the pot, it can be mentally hard to continue with the session because you're always thinking that, oh man, not again, we are going to lose. And then when you start to fear about playing pots, then you can actually make some bad decisions. Here on table 4, I decided to call because this grease guy stacks off super lightly, so if I hit the set, I have huge implied odds. And we flop then not flush draws, so when he bets half a pot, it's an easy call. I think often kings and fours are outs. And he checks. Not sure what he has, but if he has an ace, he's never folding it. Or if he has 2 pairs, he's never folding it. So if he has a better hand, he's never folding it. So I'm not going to bet here. And if he happens to hit the straight, so be it, he wouldn't have folded the turn. And he has a pair of sixes. On table 2 I'm going to bluff the turn because they both check. So I don't think neither one of them has a straight. So this guy probably has some kind of draw or two pairs. And I suppose he's going to fold it often enough. And he does. And we pick up the pot. Yay! So, how many of you are going to watch the football match or soccer match this evening? Well, we're going to stop the coaching around 10 to 15 minutes before the game starts, so you can all go to bathroom and get a drink and something to eat. Yeah, as Callan says, we have super aggressive bankroll management, or, well, it's a bankroll management, even it's super aggressive in these coachings, and there's some discussion about it in the forums. So those of you who don't know what the thing is, or you're watching this on YouTube, we have a pretty nice system that the members are buying shares. So it's sort of staking. They are staking the coach to play, and it's a 50-50 share. So it means that they can make plus EV investment and they get a free coaching for that. Here on table 3 it's pretty nasty spot. We have the nut blocker, but it's a big deal. He calls the flop, he checks the turn, he bets the river. He might be floating, but can he float? He might bet the river with 10-7. He might bet the river whatever float he has. But we don't know anything about our opponent, so I'm going to fold. If we had a bigger sample size, we might call the river, but all we know is 78 and 11. Sample size was 8 hands, so I'm not going to make a hero call with those stats. Of course, if we make that line, it's super exploitable, but I'm not worried about that. Table 2, I'm going to 3-bet this guy because I'm out of position. Table 1, I'm going to call on the turn anyway. Oh, he checks and we hit the straight on the turn. 24-7 looks like a passive guy, so we have to bet ourselves. Oh, I should have bet the flop. Well, I bet the turn. Because there's ace on the board after 3, but it's a mandatory continuation bet. I think I would have won the pot on the flop often, but now when I check the flop and bet the turn, it might seem that I don't have aces, which is the case, and probably the case was that he doesn't have anything, he didn't have anything, so he couldn't make a move or call. And one of the reasons why we have this aggressive bankroll management, like if our funded bankroll is $500, we're going to pay PLO50, or if our funded bankroll is $300, we're going to pay PLO50, so it's only 6 buy-ins. But the idea is that then it's a good combination of coaching and entertainment. If we have a bankroll of 500 and I would play PLO5, it means that probably none of the shareholders win anything. and there isn't any entertainment or I lost the word, excitement. There wouldn't be any excitement if I pay PLO5 and the bankroll is 500, because that's what I would pay if I had a $500 bankroll. I would start from PLO5, PLO10. But now it's about coaching and entertainment, so we are having an aggressive bankroll management. And sometimes it pays off, sometimes it backfires. But if you think about sites where you pay $20 a month to get 1 weekly coaching, now you buy shares and get 2 weekly coachings and often win money while doing that. So it's a win-win situation for all. Table 1 we open pretty hand and we sort of missed the flop. We have a lot of backdoors but don't really have any equity on the flop. And opponent bets half, but I'm going to call and see if we can pick something on the turn. Because it's such a weak bet, and now he bets 375. We have double cut shot. Just a cut shot with 10. If he has a king 5, king 8, we don't have that many outs. So when he bets that big on the turn, I'm just going to fold. If he had bet like $2 or checked, it would be an easy check or call. But now he bets big, so I believe he has a strong hand. And on table 2 I don't bet with the pair and open-ender. And I'm going to check the river and give him an opportunity to bluff if he has a busted draw. And he checks, which kind of sucks. He probably has 2 pairs type of hand. Just an overpair and he calls the flop. Wow. The problem when he calls the flop is that unless the turn is a king or spade, he has to fold. So, like 75% of the time, he has to fold the turn. But of course, if he has a plan what to do on the turn, then the call is fine. But why I checked the river, I thought that he has a lot of 10-9 type of hand, misdraws. So if I bet the river, he's just going to fold, but now I give him an opportunity to bet and bluff me. Because on the river it completes a draw from the flop, so he might think that he can represent the straight that I have. And table 4 I call these fishy players min bet. I have position on him with the 3-card hand. But if I hit the straight, there's a lot of value against this guy. On the outside table we have won $8. We flopped the set and get 2 streets of value some time ago. Well, we flopped 2 pairs and a cut shot. And he don't bets into 2 people, so I believe he has a flush often. Wow. He opens pre-flop. And instead of c-betting this flop, he checks with the nuts. And then on the turn, he turns his nuts into a bluff. Wow. That's why he has green color. I'm going to make a note that he can actually check the nut. So if he someday check raises me instead of c-betting, I know he has the nuts in his range. On table 3, I bluff the flop, and this 81 and 6 guy calls me, and then he raises me on the turn. Why won't he raise me? If he has the straight, why wouldn't he raise me on the flop? So the thing is that, oh, he's calling me moron, so he probably has a hand. If he has a straight, I don't have the odds. Oh, it's another, well, I don't know. If he checks me with the nuts on the flop, so be it. Oh, he has the nuts. So we made a bad call. I'm not sure if he understood that the flop is excellent for checking back. I mean, just calling on the flop. But if he was a better player, I would give him a lot more respect for the nut straight. But he's 82 and 6, so I'm not convinced that. Now I'm going to barrel against this toolbox. I have the nut blocker, so if he calls the turn or raises me, I would have shoved on him. Because he's 27-15, I think he can fold a smaller flush if I shove the turn. I think this guy tried to check raise the flop with the nuts. Not sure what he did, but it's a horrible. There's so much value on that board by just c-betting the nuts. And then on the turn when the flush completes, then he bets, which is really strange. Because that way, none of the better hands will fold and none of the worse hands, except sets, will call him. Zero has noted that his 2BB open is super crappy hand. I haven't paid attention to his bet sizing, but let's do it. If it depends on position or if it depends on his hand strength. We hit the set on table 2. The problem is that we block our own outs. But I'm going to bet if he raises for a pot, we have to fold, and he does. And now the thing is that do we have implied odds? If we call $10, we have around 20% equity. We have to win $50. We have to win $18 from him, and the pot would be 32. So we have to bet around $20, which is our whole stack, and I'm not sure if he's going to call us. So it's super borderline. He's 18 and 12, so he might fold his straight. And to justify the call, we have to get him call always, or we have to believe that he has a weaker hand. The problem is that on that board, I don't think he's ever going to turn his two pairs into bluff. The thing is that he might play his set that way. These 18 and 3 or 18 and 5 calling stations actually play sets like that. They don't understand that on that board set is not a strong hand. I bluff the river against this crease guy because all the draws miss and I have only ace high. But he makes the river call with the jack. So probably I shouldn't bluff him. I'm a small 3-bet against this guy. If he 4-bets, it's an easy call and plus EV to play from there. So it's sort of information driven, see if he has aces. And then we flop an open ender and a pair. I'm going to see, but he's 56 and 3. I'm not afraid of him making moves on me. Against some regulars, I might check back this flop to prevent them from semi-bluffing me. But this guy is not semi-bluffing. If he raises, he has a lot better hands. Oh, the ace hurts me, but... And he has the ace. Yeah. That's what I thought, that the ace is the bad river card, because I think I'm ahead on flop and turn often. But on the river he hit his 4-outer. Well, his 2BB open was pocket queens, so... There are some good hands in his range. He has actually won money out of 500 hands. That's hard to imagine. And his multi-tabling, wow. 4-tabling. Chris regular who plays like that. What do you know? I checked to see if his 4-bet range has more than aces so far. And here, Chabot 3-bets. It's not the greatest hand, but we have some equity. And now we have pair and open ender. Of course, if Chabot raises us, it sucks. 8 is a sort of nasty card. But it's nasty for him too. Without any reads, I believe he has a lot of aces, kings in his range. And he shoves us. If our open-ender is alive, we still don't have the odds, so we have to fold. And here he bets the turn. Now we have the nut blocker. But against him, it's pretty useless. Of course, when we check the flop, we give him the opportunity to bluff, but he bets pretty strong on the turn. And here we get a 3-bet from Ihami. We got a cold caller, so I think we have to go. We have so much equity. And this is super strange, like, he didn't bet the flop and he raised me on the turn. So it doesn't make sense. If he has a queen, why would he check the flop? So, but when I have nothing, there's nothing I can move. And now this guy donks for a pot. He has donked only 13% of the time, and on 3-bet pots, only 1 out of 32. So I think he should have flush pretty often. Or set. Hard to imagine a hand that I can beat that he donk bets. And table 3, isolation 3-bet. It's a shorty, of course, but when he calls, we have an SPR of little over 1. So we have some folding equity on the flop, but now this Grease regular comes along and probably wins the pot. We have to call these. We have so much backdoor equity. But he raises, so. And he has it. When he starts to call 3 bets with 5, 8, 6, 6, it's a horrible play. But yeah, that's why he's making money. It's not because he plays well, it's because he's sort of lucky. I mean, out of position, calling 3 bets when he can 4 bet. That's a horrible call. That's super bad. But as Steven says, yeah, he's an excellent regular. And it's nice that he's multi-tabling. It means that at any time he's playing, there are at least 4 good tables. And he has played a lot PLO25 because these colors are pretty much 1 year old at least. So he has played at least 1 year at PLO25. Table 2 is super bad. There are no fishes anymore, so I leave it. And the outside table is pretty bad. And this guy isn't so nifty anymore, so I remove that label. So I'm going to find the better tables. Yeah, all the tables have turned sort of bad, but I'm going to actually find the tables that this player is sitting. It's Akrop and all. Yeah. And I'm going to go to waiting list on those 2 tables. Because I really want to play with him. And what about table 1? We have this guy, he's a greenie. Chabot might be thirsty elbow and he's a nitty. So when I open the tables with this grease guy, I'm going to close table 1. Good evening, Kauris. Welcome. And table 4, we missed the flop sort of, so the best option is to just bet fold, but when we bet he folds and we win the pot, which is great outcome. Table 1, I call the river. When I check the turn, I have to call the river because all the draws from the flop miss, and he happened to have the king in his hand. And he had 2 pairs by the river. On the outside table, we 3-bet the shorty, so probably he calls or shoves, and we just shove the flop. It's SPR 1.5, so no point of being tricky. And he didn't call. Kinda sad. Now I have so many tables open that I'm going to close that one. And I'm going to open, I have 2 tables open that I'm going to see how they turn out. Oh, we just timed out on table 1. It's not a good one. So what was the fourth table with this guy? Yeah. Ihami opens from under the gun. I'm just going to call and see what happens post-flop. We hit the top pair, which is good enough at this spot, and he bets. I'm going to call and see what happens. If this Ihami shoves, then it's an easy fold, or if he continues betting. And he bets big, so I give a respect to him. Either he has two pairs or better, or he has a straight on the turn. And he probably has 4-5 or pocket aces, and he has two pairs. And this guy has, wow. So this guy donks with one pair. I'm going to give him an aggressive label, because that donk bet is super aggressive. On table 1 we put the money in with aces. It's gamble time and we are against aces, so it's a flip. Let's see who wins, and it's a tie pot. It's a four-handed, we have double suited jack, so open. And on demo 3 I just c-bet the flop. Of course it's a spot where especially this Finnish guy can raise us with some kind of combo draws. But I think betting makes this easier to play. We have the position. And we pick up a flush draw on the turn. So I'm not that worried about queen 10 or set, so I'm going to just pot the turn. And on table 4, I'm going to shove the turn. There's two flush draws. I don't want to give him a free card for the river. And here I make a small raise against Chabot. He might spew out. But when he calls and the flush comes, there's no value in betting. And we have a split pot. He had a lot stronger hand than I expected. Wow, this guy is opening a lot. He has. These are the raise first in stats from position. From under the gun he opens 55% of the hands, and from there on it just goes up. I hit the nuts on the flop, so I don't want to raise and make them fold. I just call and see how many players we get in. So If he bets a turn, I'm probably just going to call, and when he checks, I'm going to make a half a pot bet. Might look like a float, whatever. I don't think there's much value in checking the turn, because if he has any piece of the board, he might call me, and if he doesn't have anything, he's not going to bluff the river. He probably check raises me. No, he check folds. We almost hit the straight. Now I have to calculate 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, we don't get a straight here, and he bets big. If we had even a cut shot, I would call. Now we don't have much, and we block one of our flush out, so I have to fold. If I call and a flush comes, there's no value, and he might have the higher flush. Let's open the table. It has turned bad. On table 3 I call the open from this aggressive guy. I'm not going to isolate because he has only $3.50 behind him. And I hit 2 pairs and a cut shot, so I will get the money in. Of course, if this Finnish guy shoves, we don't have much equity, but against this guy we are ahead. And now we have the same hand. And he sucks out. He had a cut shot and he hit it on the river. We had a cut shot to the highest rate, but we missed it, so nothing you can do. Fishburger shoves kings pre-flop and hits his 2-outer on the river. Nice. Table 3 we have a wrap and top pair. And the flush comes. I'm going to bet the turn. As he has a lot of draws, weak aces. He has a lot more in his range than the flush, and if I check, he's going to bet the turn always. No matter what he has. So I don't want to give him the opportunity to bluff me. I'm going to bet, so he can't really raise me without a flush. And here the guy raises me. We have open-ender and top pair. He hasn't raised a lot. But it's not a pot-sized raise. So I think I'm going to call. And hit my straight on the turn. And we get the money in. And he has 2 pairs. And a flush draw. And here guy raises us. He probably has a 6. So we would draw maximum of 4 outs. We had top 2 plus cut shot. We are going to stack off. But we don't like it. In his range we are never crossing it. But the reason why we bet so big is to prevent him from calling with the hands that have a lot of equity against us. I don't want to raise small because the board was so dry. Like there's a flush draw and about zillion straight draws. Ace King Jack has some equity. The reason I raise so much, I want him to fold medium flush, small flush draws, all kind of weaker hands that have a lot of equity. And I don't have a strong hand. If I want to get the money in, I might raise smaller to induce him to shove a weaker hand. But I want him to fold as much of his range as possible. So that's why I raise full pot. When I have a hand that I don't want to play for stacks, I maximize the folding equity. If I had a stronger hand and I want him to make a semi-bluff shove, I would raise smaller. So it looks like that. I just want to play against him. But when I raise full pot, I prevent him from semi-bluffing me. Let's see what we have on the table. So small sample size from everyone. Yeti Bella is VPIP 50. Let's see if it continues. Sutton is 5211. He's our friend. And why do I bet fold 5-way? The reason is that 966, no one probably doesn't have a pair of 9s or a 6 in their hand. And now he pots the river quickly. He either has a straight on the turn or he's bluffing me. I'm so suspicious that I'm going to call. And he has 10-9. He had the river straight, but he bet pretty fast. So I thought that either he has a straight on the turn or he has made up his mind that he's going to bluff almost any river because he knows I don't have the straight. But he had the second nut straight and he pots it. And I leveled myself to call his bet. So the reason why I bet fold is that if I check the flop, then I have to call if someone bets, and there's so many draws that can hit the turn. Someone might hit his 2-outer on the turn. So I make it a lot easier. I bet and suppose that I win the pot often. If the hand goes to river and showdown, it's going to be nasty. Here we got the money in with aces. He probably has aces himself. So we have aces versus aces. Often, let's see what happens. And he had kings and he shoved kings pre-flop, which is a horrible play. But thank you, sir. The other option, because the reason is that when I bet against 4 people, it looks so strong. It's never a bluff. And people often call with kings. Because if I check here, then someone might wake up and try to bluff. Of course, one option is to check the flop and then call any bet, call some turns. But turning this hand into a bluff catcher, because any card between 5 and 10 completes straight, any card can give someone a full house. I much rather bet myself and win the pot often. It's just to make life simpler. And here on table One I called on the 3-bet with my double paired hand. And Elbelon is getting angry. Wow. We don't see how many tables he's playing, but he's multi-tabling, and he's getting angry to someone, to this Greek guy who hits 2-outer. Now that's just stupid. So this is pretty much the best customer at PokerStars Network in PLO25. He's multi-tabling and giving a lot and lots of value. And he's just taunting him and wants him to leave, which is pretty stupid. Now I'm going to bluff on table 1, and they both fold, which is nice. Now this is so stupid because he has the position, he has a money-making seat. And he's just, well, I hope he doesn't leave. If you ever do this, then stop it. Here is the number 1 customer, and this Elbelon has the best seat in the house of making money, and now he cries like a baby. Wow. If you can't stand a 2-outer suck out, then you shouldn't play poker. I have to calm him down. I hope this Greece guy doesn't leave. That would be bad. Well, Silken Steven bet fold that big, it's a half a pot bet. So if everyone folds everything besides pocket 9s and 6, it's going to be profitable. And sometimes they call with pocket kings and we go to showdown. And 5-way, someone pretty much always has the 6. Well, not always. There's 16 cards in their hands and around 40 or something in the deck. So it's, I don't know, 40% of the time someone has a 6 when there's 2 on the board. So if half of the time we win the pot, we make money. Here we hit the top 2 and an overpair. And let's see what happens. It's one of those spots that if someone raises 4-way, but this is not a pot size raise. He's a regular. Because we block the kings and 7s, so it's set of 5s that we beat. If he has a draw, we are sort of flipping, so I'm just going to fold. The best case scenario is that he has some sort of draw and we might be a small favorite, or we are flipping, and he definitely has sets, especially set of 5s in his range. And I bluff the river. I don't think he has an ace that often. The way he played the hand, and we win the pot. A shorty 3-bet. I'm going to call. Pretty much if we hit anything we stack off, and now when we totally miss, there's nothing we can do. This guy has donked 2 out of 5 times, so I have a gut shot. Probably going to post control and just call and see how it turns out. I'm not able to. I'm going to call the river when I hit my straight. And he has to. Oh man. He hit the straight on the river and he checks. Of course, when the flush comes there, he has to check, but. And this guy had 3 pairs on the flop. Yeah, he 3-bet me with. Wow. He 3-bet pre-flop and floppies. He hit the top 2 and open-ender and he doesn't see bet. Probably he's going to check raise or something. Not sure. What is he thinking? And number 1, I'm going to value bet against this guy. He 3-bet me, so I think he has aces with the flush draw often. And when he bets raises the turn, I just have to stack off with my bottom end straight. And he has only 2 pair and a flush draw, and he hits the river. Oh, he had a full house on the turn, sorry. So he had aces, but he had 2 pairs and a flush draw, and he didn't bet the flop, which is strange. Pretty nasty. So I have no idea if we are winning or losing, so I have to check the board tracker. Wow. We are losing $20. We have gone pretty much $40 down in the last 20 hands or something. But we are running a couple of blinds over EV, so I'm not sure why. We haven't sucked out that many times, but people have sucked out on us. Well, anyway. I'm not sure what hand sequence Steven is referring to. If he's referring to the 966 board. Not sure if wraps are going to fold, but 7-8 is going to fold often. And here I just raise with my 2 pairs. Not going to get fancy. And it's a great board to raise. If he has aces, he doesn't like to fold them. Because I might often raise him with 10 XXX hands. Here on table 1, I wanted to check raise the flop. And he's regular. I just call with my aces. Don't want to 3-bet against this guy. He puts me on aces often and it's hard to play. This Greece guy hasn't check raised a lot, so I'm going to see bet him, even with my pair of sevens. And then I check the turn, and if I improve by the river, I call. And he checks. And he has 7-4, two pairs on the flop, and he wanted to call down. Well, it's one way of playing bottom two. Table 2, we flop the wrap. On table 4, he's donking half a pot. So I'm going to raise. He has done this with so wide range. And now he calls. Of course, we hit the set on the river, which gives us some equity. There's no point of betting. When he calls the turn, he's going to call the river pretty much always. And he had a set of nines this time, so we hit two outer. Justice. It's like, once again, he has set on the flop, and he checks, which makes sense. And on the river, on the turn, straight completes, flush completes, and then he donks his set. So, I don't like the way he played it. Here on table 2, 28 and 4 bets the river. He has often a flush here. He called the flop, but he doesn't have it this guy had. So he had the same straight and he value bet it. And I think the Finnish player played his jack high flush. When he checks the turn, it's a great way because he doesn't get a lot of value by betting. And calling, he often gets one. Like if he has check, I have check, and he bets, I would probably call his bet on the river. So he played it fine. Table 1 I'm going to call down, at least on the flop and on this turn. And probably calling the river if he bets. But now I don't have to. No, I 3-bet aces, but the flop is pretty much horrible. And I have a Finnish regular who definitely can raise me with a lot of hands. And I am a shorty fish who doesn't want to fold anything. So I'm not making a c-bet on this board. And on table 3 he bets the river, so I just have to fold. On the flop I called with my hand and with the float, so if the turn completes a straight and he checks, I can turn my hand into a bluff. Now I had a 13 out of wrap on the turn and some extra outs, so I decided to call, and on the river he just shoved on me, so I have to fold. Kinda sucks. Let's see if this guy folds. Now he folds the river, which is nice. And now we just wait some more. Table 1 has turned pretty bad. There are no fishes, so I'm going to close it. And bring one of the outside tables into the light. On table 2, pretty much the only way to win the pot is if he folds on the flop, so I have to try it. But he calls, so turn pairs the board. It's a good card to continue. 25, 16, 5. He might fold a lot of his draws here. The board pairs, I might have kings and jacks in my range easily. And he does fold, probably folded either the best hand or a lot of equity. So that's why c-betting is often better than checking unless you know for sure. Why do you check? Because if I have checked the flop, I can't represent the full house on the turn. So he wouldn't fold pretty much any hand that has any equity. Frau Fu min raised and folded to my 3-bet. That's interesting. And table 2 I totally missed the flop, so let's just go to showdown if possible. And there's a set of queens. Wow, that's why playing out of position sucks. He flops the nuts. He checks. He makes a full house on the turn. He checks. And on the river, I don't know why he checks the river when the flop and turn was checked, but he flops the nuts, turns the nuts, and post flop he got 0 value. Wow. But that's nice. one way of playing the nuts. We have around half an hour to go. And we are still down by a buy-in or so. So let's see if we can rescue the session and make profit in the last half an hour. And Grease Guy 3 bets. He has 3 bet. All kinds of hand. We are 200 BPs deep. I don't want to call because I don't want to hit the flush 200 BPs deep. If I am sure that his range is aces, then I can call, but as his range is a lot wider, I can't call. So now it would be pretty awkward situation when we have 2 pairs and money goes in. I'm going to raise a pot in table 3 because I blocked one of my full house outs and there are going to be so many nasty turns. So I'm just going to raise him and now he leaves, which kind of sucks. Boo. Hope he doesn't leave from on tables. Now I have to show you in the lobby. When I open the tables, they were up here, and now when we have sit in those tables, they always go down. So that's why you have to pay attention to the tables. You might have a really good table, but after 5 minutes, it turns out to be a bad table. Like table 2, no fishes left. So that's when we are going to leave. Table 4 died. Table 3 died. So it's often when there's one fish on the table, it draws regulars, and when the fish leaves, there's going to be 6 tighter players on the table. And table 1, we just call pre-flop with medium aces, and we hit the set, which is a nice thing. Now we have to figure out how to make money. And we have to bet on the turn to get some value. And if someone raises, then it's just about pot odds. So suddenly we are out of tables. I have to put us into the waiting list of some of the tables. Now it seems that all the regulars have woken up. Hopefully we can find some good tables for the last 20 minutes. We almost have a straight on table 1. We have an open ender. And 200 pips deep, I'm going to call. And turn is an interesting card. We have the set and the flush completes, which means that we are either a mile ahead or we are drawing the 25%. So I'm going to check back and hit the straight. So if he bets the river, I have to call. He's quite aggressive player. And he has the nut flush draw, but he gave us the free river card, which is great for us. Now this table 3 that just opened doesn't look that good anymore. This guy is regular. I think this is a regular, this is, and this is sitting out. But we can keep the table 3 until we find the better ones. Putnik doesn't fold on the flop, so I'm not going to bluff him. He has folded only 18% of the time, and he's quite aggressive post-op, so it seems that if he doesn't have anything, he's trying to win the pot with aggression. So he's kind of player that you don't want to bluff a lot. Just wait for the hand and get the money. This guy is super needy. 10 and 5, here are his stats. So he has a lot of overpairs in his range and don't think he's going to fold them that much. Table 4, we have a bottom 2 pairs, so trying to win the pot right away. And the flush and the straight completes. Everything completes on the turn, so if it has been like 7 of hearts, I might bet it. And now, when he calls the flop, if he doesn't have a hand on the turn, he has the hand on the river. And when we check the turn, he's going to call the river, so there's no point of bluffing the river. So it's one of those spots that the turn is bad and the river is even worse, more bad. Higher 2 size. Well, it's not that good. Small isolation 3 bet on table 4 against Finnish guy, but shorty close calls, which happens some of the time. We have the position and we can hit the board. So it's going to be pretty easy to play post flop. And now he donks for pot, so here we hit top set and second nut flush draw. I hope this Putnik guy goes crazy, because we are sitting deep with him or George's. And now he folds. It kind of sucks when he has been twin action on every hand, and the one hand that you hit, he just folds. But it happens. George is 3-bet. Ooh. I'm going to call and hope that Putnik goes crazy. And he doesn't. Now this is going to be an interesting hand, because this flop is pretty good for me. George shouldn't hit this flop often. So I'm going to raise. If he shoves, I'm going to fold. Then the bottom of his range is aces with diamonds, which is free rolling, or he has a trips or full house. But he should fold a lot of his range, which he does. And if he has aces, we often get him to fold his split pot. And again we have aces against. And this is the guy that shoved kings against us previously, so I'm going to 3-bet him and give him an opportunity to shove kings or worse hand. So we can get a huge flip. Would be sick, and he does. The problem is that if we both have aces, this Putnik is having the best equity and probably wins the pot, but we have to shove aces, because we know that Hedda 17 can 5-bet any more than aces. And now, jam. Let's see what happens. Oh, we actually won something. Wow. Whew. That was close. You don't often see $150. It's 600 buying pot in PLO25. Pre-flop all-in. So he had aces and eights, and we have aces and 1-8. On the flop, we were in a pretty nice shape. And we have a top pair and a nut flush draw. We're going all in against the Putnik. But he folds, which is strange. Well, that's an interesting hand. Little excitement for the coaching. Around 15 minutes to play. Let's see on that hand how much this Putnik guy had. He had a pair in his hand. And we blocked even more of our own outs. So he had Jack, Queen 3, which is a crappy hand. He has even pair in his hand, but still he has 37. We had the worst equity, 29%. And now this Elbelon guy whines again. Oh man. I have to ask him to be quiet. He comes to every table and ruins my day. I don't know what's up with his whining. Doesn't he want to play against bad people or what? Maybe he's just having a bad day. I hope he watches this video at some point so he can understand how bad his behavior is. Because now there's only 2 players on the table that are giving money to these 4 people, George's, Heta, me, and Elpelon. So if he pushes these players away from the table, then the table dies. I don't know what he wants. Does he want to play against only the top players of the network, or what is the thing? On table 3, I'm going to bluff the river. I have the straight blockers and some backdoor flush. When he calls the flop, he often has a jack in his hand. So if I can make him fold any pair, it's good for me. The pocket tens don't have that much showdown value that I think I could just check the river. And it's nice to see that Patnik is building up a bankroll. It's so funny that there are... This mare is sort of regular, some sort of loose, but the Putnik is the reason why 5 of us are on the table. So pretty much everyone is truing for his money. So if he leaves, I think the table dies instantly. Table 3 we have aces. And on table 4, the Finnish regular raises us. And we have 2 backdoor flush draws, which means I'm going to call. We pick up the 2 pairs. And he checks. Either he has a straight or I have him crushed. So I'm going to check, and if he has a straight, I can draw my 12 or 13 outer for free. We don't hit it. So if he bets the river, I think we sort of have to call. Because he knows we don't have a 3-5, so we probably don't have a straight. And he checks, which is nice for us. And he has only a pair of 6s, so he raised me as a bluff. In table 2, I'm going to value bet my kings when the board pairs. And on table 3, I'm bluffing the board. I have the ace of hearts, which reduces some of the flush draws that people can call me with. But when he calls the flop and flush comes, I'm not going to bluff him. So he can have the pot. And he has only pocket queens. Wow, I'm going to give him a green color for that. And table 2, this guy had deuce in his hand. Pretty unlucky. So I'm going to make a note Huh? So now I know that his calling range on those paired boards with flush draw is just pair over pair. So it gives me more information. Like when the flush comes, I can barrel him and make him fold. And if he starts to call with those overpairs on the turn and river, then I just adjust and value bet out of him. We have a hand on table 2 and table 4. Let's see what happens. Probably nothing interesting happens. And it goes check, check, check with the river. Let's hope for a showdown. And on table 2, the 25 and 5 raises us. We have only a cut shot, so we have to fold. Table 4, I isolate 3 bet. And I'm gonna code 4 bet, so we just get the money in. He has only so little behind that I can fold on almost any flop. And we hit the flush, but he hit a bigger flush, which sucks once again. And now this goofy guy 3 bets us. Well, now the hand is a lot easier to play. And now the question is, can he fold pocket aces? When he pots it, I don't think he can, so I'm going to call and see if I improve the turn. Now if he shoves the turn, then I can happily fold. But he doesn't, but river doesn't improve me, so he has the aces. He had a 3-5, so he wouldn't have folded anyway. On table 2, I'm going to call against this guy, and I'm going to call the turn. And I think that if he doesn't have a flush, he has to check the river. Because my hand, I either have a straight or flush often, so he can't really bluff this spot. And he had a straight, yeah, makes sense. Pick it up on the river. 5 more minutes, and then we are going to close the session and move on to watch the soccer game. Let's see if we can build up a nice pot in the last 5 minutes. On table 4 we have a hand. Let's see what happens. We have a limper from Sweden, definitely raise. And the flop we missed totally, but it's an ace high, so we make a small c-bet and he doesn't even think, he just folds. And it's like printing money, small money. On table 1 they put the money in. Not sure why George wanted to shove his ace. He has a lot of draws, but he has to hit something to win the pot. So, not sure why he did it. I have aces. He just lost a big pot, which might make him gamble. So I'll give him an opportunity to shove, but he doesn't. I have 2 pairs, so I'm going to shove and hope Putnik doesn't wake up with the hand. When he dunks half a pot, I'm ahead of his range pretty much always. And he dunk folds with that stack, wow. I have never understood why people dunk fold in those spots, but well, we have another aces, so let's gamble. We get so much in that we can shove any flop. But this is so horrible. Wow, almost any flop. This flop sucks. I'm going to check. This flop is just so horrible. It's hard to imagine a hand that we can beat that doesn't have at least a shitload of equity against us. Like a 3-bet hand that doesn't hit this board anyway. So the correct wording is we can shove almost any flop. But that isn't one of those. And on table 2 I'm just going to give Ryan some pressure. He shouldn't have a strong hand here, so I can represent the straight and just give him a lot of pressure. If he calls, he probably has a diamond draw, but like this time he just has to fold it on the turn. I don't think he ever check calls with the nut straight. Of course, sometimes he might, but not that often. So when he doesn't c-bet the flop, it recaps his range, so we can just give him enough pressure to make him fold. And that's why in a heads-up board you should always check. You should always c-bet the flop unless you have a really good reason of not to. And I think we can close the tables anyway now. Now I'm going to shove against this shorty. At least we won 1 pot. And he has pair of kings. Didn't even think about folding. And on table 3, I'm going to semi-bluff against this guy. And our hand improves on the turn, so we can actually value bet from here. And if he has a big wrap or combo draw, he can call, but other than that, he just has to fold. Or if he has a set, now he's going to shove. He waited for the non-spade turn. So he probably has a set. No, he has pair of queens. Now, I don't know what's the reasoning behind that, but this turn shove is, wow. I don't have the words for it. Here in table 2 we have 4 outs, going to hit 1 out of 10 times. So we need to win $35 if we call this. So we don't have enough implied odds. I don't know what's the reason for shoving the turn. I check raise the flop. I have a strong hand. I pot the turn. So the only hand he can beat is that I have some sort of draw. He's blocking a lot of the draws with queens and 110. Now Elpelon is... Now he's attacking me. I really want to answer him, but I probably should not. So the only hand he can beat is some sort of 9, 10, 7. Maybe with spades. That he's pretty much flipping or something. So I have no idea why he shoves the turn. Because he doesn't have folding. I'm never potting the turn and folding. I'm going to call the flop with my pocket tens. Because we are 200 pp's deep and he's a fishy player. So if we happen to hit the set, there's a lot of value. We hit the ace and the cut shot. So I'm going to fade it passively. And we get the showdown. And he has pair of kings. So probably now it's time to close the tables, because so many backdoors that I'm going to fold. There's one shorty on the hand. Now this table 1 turned out to be a great one. All the records left and on the fishy state. Quite amazing. And he 3-bets me again. I have some nut value in my hand, so definitely going to call. And we flop 2 pairs. Which there's no straight possibility, so I'm going to shove. Don't see that he has that many sets when we block the 7 and 8. Now he has under pot size left, so we have to shove. If he turns out 5-6, it's going to be a pretty nasty spot. But he thinks so, he probably doesn't have a 5-6. Which means that we are ahead. And he has only pair of queens. And we win 400 pp pot as the last hand. And that's officially insane. Wow. He doesn't even have a cut shot. He has only pair of 8s. And he stacks off on the turn. Well, that's a nice way of ending the session. I don't have the words for that either, so almost the final two hands, we won two big pots, one against the Finnish regular and the other one against that Russian customer, and I don't have the words to explain why they did that. So let's see how the session ended. This is not the actual situation. We have to refresh, and two buy-in winnings and $65 under EV. I wonder how this is possible, because yeah, we sucked out and a couple of pots, and the big pot where there was aces and jack queen something. We had the worst equity and we won half a pot. We ran over EV there. But other than that, our EV line has gone down, and that's super amazing, because I actually thought that we were doing pretty well in the session and we got sucked out on a lot of hands, but apparently that isn't the case. But after the downswings we had on the last couple of weeks, I'm not complaining. $55, I take it. So unless someone has questions, I think it's time to close this PLO night and go to watch some football. Thank you for joining. Let's see if we can raise more funds for the next week. We can go back to PLO50, or if not, we just continue PLO25. As we saw, the tables are pretty good on PLO25. A lot of green players on most of the tables. So thank you. Let's just play the super video in the end and go to watch football. Have a good night. Bye bye.